As a fitness professional, one of the most common things I hear is, I don't have time. So let me tell you guys something about time. Every single one of you has 168 hours in a week, and I'm only asking for 2.5 hours out of your week. And for what? To live a better life, a healthier life, or even a longer life. These are all benefits that come with exercise. Fitness is a lifestyle. This is not a quick fix. This is something you have to incorporate into your daily regimen, just like brushing your teeth or taking a shower.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight on Real Talk with Jean Price. I'm so glad you tuned in. This is actually going to be a great show tonight, a show filled with, I kind of chuckle with it because it's probably the one thing that I don't do well. But guess what? We've been fit for this, right? So I'm excited about today's show. You have an opportunity to share, to comment, to like. I want you to tell everybody hi. I have some of my favorite people that are joining me tonight, and they are commenting already. So we have our viewing audience. They are ready. They have questions. They have comments. And listen, they want to know about some stuff tonight. So I'm so grateful for everyone that is tuned in tonight. Help me welcome my guest. He's very knowledgeable and in understanding what we're going to be talking about. So tonight's show is dealing with navigating the levers of life. But you've been fit for this. Help me to welcome to the stage tonight, JT Thomas. Thank you for joining me tonight on Real Talk.
Hello, how are you doing today? Thank you
I
for
am
having
doing
me.
well, doing well. Thank you, JT, for joining us on Real Talk. I'm excited about the show tonight. My audience is excited about the show, sir. So before I get started, because I want to jump right in, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us a little bit about your background?
Okay, my name is Joshua Thompson. I am founder of the Realm of Success that focuses on personal development, which we're mainly focusing on obtaining, sustaining, and ingraining success into people's lives wherever they are in their journey. Personally, right now, I am a personal trainer. I am a group fitness instructor. I am into health and wellness as well, all around. I live it, I breathe it. My main goal is personal development to become the best version of myself. That is my goal. That is my goal, to help people become the best versions of themselves physically and mentally, and however that might look for them. Also, I'm just, trying to build my brand and create something where it makes the journey of success just a little bit easier for others, just a little bit where they can go through things so they don't have to go through things unnecessarily.
Right,
Life
right.
throws us challenges either way, but sometimes we can put challenges in front of ourselves without even knowing it. So I
It's
want to be able to help people to deviate from those things and be more intentional with life and just have some success, because who doesn't love success, you
right.
know?
Well, I have to ask you a question, right? So, January just came in, Joshua, and sometimes the first thing we do is we make these New Year's resolutions about getting fit. And I love the fact you're talking about not just a physical fitness to get fit, so to speak, but also from the inside. So, how did you turn being and staying fit into a lifestyle? I just have to know that.
First and foremost, for me, I had to think about, for me, it was probably a little bit easier because I began to implement myself into that space, working no matter what. I started working at a gym. Growing up, I played basketball throughout high school and college, but I did not like working out at all. I was not a fan of working out. At some point in time, I went to the doctor, and the doctor was telling me if I stayed on the same track that I was, that I would have been a diabetic. I was pre-diabetic. All I was eating was just a bunch of candy and junk food, and because I was small and I played basketball, I was like, I don't have to eat healthy. I don't have to eat,
Right.
like, I could just eat whatever I want all the time, and not being mindful of what I'm eating. So I started just implementing myself in gyms, like working at gyms and doing that, and just being around the environment first and
Right.
foremost. And then it was probably a little bit before COVID that I really just dedicated myself to trying to, becoming healthier, becoming stronger, becoming bigger. There's something that I wanted, and for me, I attached a something fun to it. So every day I would come into the elevator and I would do a little dance on my Instagram for the people, and like I was going 60 days straight. I just gave myself 60 days. Get into the gym for 60 days straight. That's what I need to do. And that's where I started out first. I didn't think about anything. I didn't care where I was at. I didn't care where I was going. I just knew I wouldn't be in the same place if I just kept going. And that's the mindset I sort of kind of kept at that moment.
Wow, that's interesting. I was so caught up in what you were saying because you said so many powerful things. And one of the things that I did hear you say without saying it was discipline. So,
Yes.
something triggered inside of you to tell yourself about being disciplined. So I want to go back. A lot of times people get diagnosed with different things, like you mentioned yourself, pre-diabetes and things like that. What does it take? Like, how do you even begin this journey? Because I went to the doctor a couple of months ago, and the doctor said, "Well, I need you to go to the gym 4 times a week." I laughed for 20 minutes on the treadmill because you got to keep your heart rate up. I heard what he said. I said, "Okay, I'm going to do it." I have to be honest. I did it maybe 4 times. I just can't seem to discipline my mind to follow the instructions. So what am I missing besides discipline?
Right. So I think you need to build a proper foundation. You got to figure out, how do you learn the best way that you possibly can? How do you implement those things into your life? Are you somebody who just goes right out the gate and is able to go, like, from the opposite, it would be like cold turkey, stop doing all those other things and then just straight start going to the gym 4 times? Or are you the type of person to weave it in to your life? Are you the type of person to weave it in slowly? So what I mean by that is 2 times a week, starting out, walking for 10 minutes, then go home slowly, and then progressively overloading, because that's something that is also into working out, is
Just
progressively overloading. So that's how you grow. You don't just go into the gym and start lifting the heaviest thing that you possibly can, start
right.
doing the most challenging thing. You start small and you start building up. A lot of people try to go into the gym and say, "Hey, I'm going to just do this." Of course, your body knows you probably can't do it, but is that sustainable? We're looking
Mhm.
for sustainability. That's what we're
Yeah.
looking for. You know, we got to find what works for us in our schedules. Everybody has a different schedule. You have to find out, and necessarily it might not have to be the gym that you have to go to. It could be, you can start in your house. You can walk for 10 minutes outside, or if you have the money, you can buy one of those walker things. If you work from home, you can do that. There's so many different choices that you need to find out what best works for you. And I think people are trying to force themselves to do what others do, and it doesn't work for them. And they're saying, "Well, why?" And they say, "Oh, do I not like it? Do I not want to do it?"
Right.
It's just, it's not working for you right now. You got to find out what's working for you, because you got to find out where what you want and what you need meets each other.
Okay.
So like, that's where you have to find. You got to find those two things, and then that's where you lay that discipline at. Because of course you have to want to be there, but it might not work for you. So now you have to figure out, okay, this is where I implement that discipline now. And,
Right.
you
Yeah.
find, yeah,
Yeah.
go
That's
ahead,
so
and
powerful what you said though, JT, because I think, like you said, and some of us are probably here. Angela chimed in and she said, "Lord, let me do 6 days." It's I think we really I jumped right into it and it wasn't sustainable. So
at
then
all.
all of a sudden you feel like, well, then if it's not sustainable, then why am I doing it? So then each day that goes by that you don't go, it puts you back into where you were before. And I
Even more.
that's the struggle of trying to get going. So then you got to start all over from scratch again. But when you finally made up in your mind, right, that this is what you want, not just want to do, and you said those key words, want and need to do, when did you realize it was working?
Right.
When?
So for me, I realized it was working because this is a long journey for me because I graduated, tried out, and I kept going back to the basketball court. I kept trying, I wasn't really working out for me. I wasn't really just, I was trying to get into it. I didn't like it. And it wasn't working for me at the time. And the moment where I met it is when I just sat down with myself and saying, you know, this is what I want. Um, this is what I'm going to have to do. And I had an accountability partner who would be like, hey, we got to work out today. That helps too. Having someone, your community,
Yes.
someone around you, they're like, hey, you got to go. And, and sometimes, that partner might drop off, but that might ignited you enough to keep
Right.
going.
Right.
Now for me, working out has become like it's a part of my day now. It's
Yes.
not
Yes.
just like I can't go too many days without going to the gym. And I'm like, all right, I've missed the gym twice. Like, what am I doing? Or I have to be active in some sort of kind of way because I know for me, longevity wise, it's going to help me better. And I think people have to also understand that too when they're doing something. The first day that you go into the gym, you are not going to see no results. You might be a little sore. You might be a little sore, but it has not done nothing
Right.
at all. This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not something that is microwavable. This is not a microwavable process. This is something that you simmer overnight. You simmer something like this overnight.
Right.
It's going to keep overnight. It's going to keep going. It's about you building upon the times, like for the first week, like I said, and you need to walk, your goal is to walk 20 minutes. You want to start off 5 minutes in the gym? Fine. 5 minutes, go home. For that first week, you can do 5 minutes, or for that, you do 4 times. That first day, you do 5. The next day, you do 6. The next day, you do 7, and then on and on and on. You keep challenging yourself and
Mm.
write it out. Try different things, write it out, challenge yourself, put yourself in a group of people that are able to hold you accountable,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden, now this is your life. Now you've made it your life. These are a group of people you hang out with. They want to go out for lunch. They all want to run together or walk together. They want to do these things together now. So now it's like, now this is a part of your life. If you're feeling like it's that hard to get into, find that community, find those people that are also, and I think naturally as humans, we are competitive and we want to, if our friend says, hey, yeah, I did 10 minutes today, you're going to want to do 10 minutes too. The next time you get to the gym. So, just challenging yourself and being around that community space.
So there's a couple of comments that I think are really important here. Well, Vivis Martin chimed in and she said, "I love walking, but I find that a destination is needed for me to do that." Can you kind of
Mhm.
agree with what she's saying? Because that's interesting, finding that destination. Not just to do it, but what do you feel about that?
I'm on both sides.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Explain.
on both sides.
Okay.
So for her side, if that is what works best for her, by all means. But now in your mind, you're thinking, okay, when I get here, I get to turn around and go back home. If that
Mm,
works, fine. But as opposed to somebody who they're in a familiar area that they know, safe area, and they're walking, you know, it has no limits. Now you're just worried about the scenery. Like, let's say you're
yeah,
walking down the west side, by the Hudson River.
right.
That walkway by the Hudson River. That's a beautiful. You're looking at Jersey. You're looking at the Intrepid is over there. By the time you walk in and you're looking, and it's a bunch of dogs over there. You're walking and looking. By the time you know it, you done walked up 2 miles.
True. That is
By the time, so it's really all depend on how you look at it.
true.
Both
Okay.
sides work. Both sides work. It's
That's
depending
interesting.
on, yeah, it's depending on how your mind thinks about it, because that's where
Right.
the mind comes into, like, very important. It's how you think about it and what works best for you. If that works best for you, I'm happy. If you
Right.
choose, say, I want to stop right here, this is where I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to turn around. That's good. And then the next day you say, all right, boom, I'm gonna go a little bit further. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna walk to the store today, do my little shopping, get my one little bag or two bag, and then I'm gonna walk back.
Right.
And
Right.
it's okay to tag things to it, and you have to do it. You
Yeah.
have to get it done.
It's true. Angela said something that's really interesting too, Joshua. Angela said, lower my expectations from the start. I think that is so powerful because I think, let me speak for me. I'm kind of like what Angela's saying. I think my expectation is that it's so far up here somewhere that and I guess it goes back to what we were saying before about it's unsustainable because I'm already thinking that I'm going to go right here, but I'm
Right.
not thinking about the baby steps that I have to take to get there. My husband, when I say he is disciplined, he works out 4 times a week. He's out the house at 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't care if it's raining, sleeting, or snowing. That man does it. And I just go, I just can't do it. And I think Angela helped me tonight because I think my expectation is way up here somewhere. So can you kind of speak to that a little bit about expectation?
And that it's 100% true. And we put these expectations, like especially for people that do a lot of things outside of working out that they crush. They're like, oh, working out is
Yes.
easy. Working out, this should be easy. And it
Mm,
doesn't come easy.
yeah.
It doesn't come easy as other things. So then you're like, what's going on here? What's
Right.
happening? And
Right.
then you're like, but that's the thing though. It's okay to not put that on that level of like expectation. It's okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
Come
It's
on.
okay. Well, while we're waiting for Joshua to come
Yeah,
back, again, I
it's
want
good.
this statement that Angela said
Yeah.
about expectation is so powerful. And I think we all can relate, right? All of us that are on the show tonight. If your expectation is so high and you don't attain that expectation, and I don't know if any of you feel the way I feel, it's almost like a little bit of failure, like, and then I give up. So is anybody that could write in the chat at times you have given up when it came to working out and looking at your health and doing the things you have to do? Vivis chimed in and said, I have a very hard time toning, working on specific areas that repetitions make me tired just thinking about them. So Joshua's back. Thank you for that, Vivis, and he's going to continue our dialogue and talking about expectation. Go ahead, Joshua.
Yeah, my apologies for that. But yeah, first and foremost, like just having those expectations, like you said, you have to start. I think there's work to do before you actually start the action. You have to, which is, you have to create a plan.
Okay.
You got to ask yourself, you have to create a plan that you're able to execute. Execution is very important. So now you have to be true and real with yourself and ask yourself, what am I able to do? Now, don't sell yourself short, but
Right.
also don't oversell yourself. So you got to find that sweet spot for you in the beginning so that you're able to just build upon that. So if in the past you're like, okay, I've went for 3 days last time and then this is where I just went out. Ask yourself, why did I stop here? What stopped me? And you got to be real with yourself. If it's just because if there's nothing there stopping in your way, then that's telling you like, hey, I'm not doing the best that I need to do. I'm not trying hard enough. So that's where it comes down to, especially with level of expectations.
Yeah. We're going to take a commercial, but Omika chimed in, and this is really powerful what she said, Joshua, and I'm going to let you speak to this after the commercial break. Omika said, as I get older, it takes more for me to get and maintain the body and health that I want. That's not easy. And Momika, thank you for sharing that because that's how us 57-year-olds feel as well. But we're going to take a commercial break. Joshua will be right back. And we're going to address what Omika is saying because I think the rest of us, we want to know about that too. We'll be right back.
So as a fitness professional, one of the most common things I hear is, I don't have time. So let me tell you guys something about time. Every single one of you has 168 hours in a week, and I'm only asking for 2.5 hours out of your week. And for what? To live a better life, a healthier life, or even a longer life. These are all benefits that come with exercise. Fitness is a lifestyle. This is not a quick fix. This is something you have to incorporate into your daily regimen, just like brushing your teeth or taking a shower.
Welcome back to Real Talk with Jean Price. We're having a great discussion tonight. We're talking about navigating the levers of life. We're still in that series, but we're talking about being fit, taking care of these bodies, spiritually, naturally, and we're just having this great conversation. Our guest tonight is Joshua T. Thompson. So, Joshua, I'm going to ask that you come back to the show. Thank you, sir, for being back. Before we went to the commercial, I mentioned to Joshua, one of our viewing audience, Amika chimed in and said, as I get older, it takes more for me to get and maintain the body and health that I want. And she's so right. It's not easy. So, Joshua, I want you to just kind of talk to us about that. And then Regine also chimed in, but talk to us about that first, Joshua. How do we do that? Because we're getting older and it is hard.
It's really hard. I will not say that it's any bit of easy, no matter where you start. I think especially as you get older, things do get harder. Um, but I would say to that is don't just keep going, sort of kind of thing. And I know this might be as cliche as possible, but don't stop because it's working. You see yourself every day. You see
Yeah.
yourself every day. You might not notice the little changes, but there's one thing that I can promise you, that if you stop, you'll get no changes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you got to tell yourself too. If you stop, you'll get no changes.
Yes.
You have to understand that it's happening for you now. A lot of times, due to the fact that we are probably either looking on social media and comparing ourselves to someone else,
Mm-hmm.
that's when we begin to say, wow, what's going on with me? What's going on with me? When it's like, none of that matters what they're doing. It matters
Right.
about what you're doing, and you're continuing to stay, because you too can speak to your journey and stuff, because this is your journey. You have your own story. This is what you're creating. So it's up to you to keep going. It's up to you. And like I said, it's hard. It gets harder, but it's going to be even harder if you stop.
That's powerful. That just said a mouthful, to just keep going. And I'm glad you said that, Joshua, because Regine chimed in, and I thank God for her transparency, because she said, yes, I find it discouraging when I don't see results right away, and I often quit and start again. I learned to realize progression can take time or more effort, and I'm okay with that now. And then she said, yes, I want fitness to be my lifestyle.
Yeah.
That key word right there, lifestyle. Let's talk about that for the time we even have left. We have more, but how we want to make this a lifestyle, Josh. We don't want it just to be something, and to what Regine's saying, that we keep starting and stopping. We want to keep going, but we want to make it part of our lifestyle. So let's talk about that for a few minutes.
So lifestyle, also understanding that a lifestyle looks different for everybody.
Yes.
Like your lifestyle is different from my lifestyle. Your fitness now, as your overall lifestyle looks different from mine. Now let's get down and break it down. So you have your overall tree of your lifestyle. I'm going to break it down. Fitness lifestyle. You have to find what works best for you. Some people like to do Peloton in their house. Some people like to go for walks with their friends or by themselves. Some people like to go to the gym and strength train. Some people like to buy an app, do personal training, and go to a group fitness class and strength training and things like that. You have to figure out first and foremost what you like best.
Right.
Then when you figure out what you like best, and now you're not going to like every part of training. You're not going to like every part of it, but at least find some enjoyment in what you're doing. Because the moment you challenge yourself, that's going to get you uncomfortable, and we don't like discomfort. Of course,
Right.
we don't like to be uncomfortable. We want to be comfortable, but you have to make friends with that discomfort to know that in the long run, it's going to do better for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you get to that point, that's your breaking point. When you get to that point, you're like, oh man, I can't go, keep going.
Yeah.
That's the moment when it says I can't, I don't feel like it.
Yes.
Turn it, go. And this is the moment where I need to go, because the moment that you say that you're gonna go to the gym or that you're gonna do this workout, the moment that you don't keep your own word, you're programming your mind to not be committed to this, to not do the things that you need to do. So I would say to that is like, yes, like stopping and going is just going to make things a lot more difficult. But pushing through that discomfort is just it's gonna get easier over time. Things don't get like it's the same thing from the day that you started. Nothing changed. The weight hasn't changed. The exercises hasn't changed. You might have added some more time or weights to the stuff, but it's all the same stuff. You have just adapted to what you're doing, and you have to stay into it long enough to
Yeah.
adapt. People do people do like I know a lot of people who, like you say, she said she starts, she does 3 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and then let's say she does 3 weeks and then she stops for a while and then she starts and does 3 weeks again. And it's every time it's so hard. It's so hard because
Yes.
you're always in that starting phase.
Wow.
You have to break yourself out of that starting phase because every time it's so hard to start. It's so hard to start in the beginning. Your muscles have to get acclimated to the
Yes.
workouts that you're doing. You have to like your lungs have to you go outside and you're running and your lungs feel like they're on fire because you've never done anything. But
Right.
that's the first day. You're getting your body doesn't want you to break down. So your body will do what it needs to do to help you out. But you have to keep challenging your body. That's
Mhm.
the point. And then once again, what you do in the gym, on the outside physically, you have to make sure you are providing it with the proper nutrition because what you put into your body will
Yes.
will tell your body what it needs to do.
Right. That's
Will
so
tell,
important to talk about that, Joshua, because what we put in our body, there's a saying, and I don't know where my husband got it from, but it says your body will sue you for its indiscretions.
yep.
And my husband told me that one day, and I was like, wow. And it's really true, whether it's physically or even like you're saying, what we put in our body. And one of my dear friends, and I know everybody that's on here tonight, but one of my dear friends, we had an opportunity to actually go on vacation together. And in going on vacation, when I say to you, we ate so bad. I don't know how, there's sometimes, and I think everyone can understand this. I can be on such a roll, right? I'm so disciplined, eat healthy, drink my water, do whatever. And then I have one moment of eating bad. I don't know how to turn it off in my mind. And I
Mm,
think that is such a hard discipline for me. And like you were saying about starting and stopping, that even goes for what we eat. It's the same
yep.
principle. So is it that why is it so hard in those areas that we struggle with? Now, if you ask me about something else, I can go through with it. I'm disciplined. I'm on it. It's just some other areas when it comes to physical working out and eating right. That's my struggle. So what goes on in the mind to make us be like that?
I think for food, I think it's our relationship with it, or even strongly going back, disconnecting the two. Or if I'm eating McDonald's, that's so unhealthy. If I'm eating a salad, that's
Yeah.
so healthy. This is a healthy diet that I'm on. Instead
Yeah.
of integrating both into your life and finding that middle ground for you. I eat McDonald's. It's not like I don't. I eat McDonald's. Now, do I consistently eat McDonald's? No. I
Right.
probably have McDonald's maybe like once or twice a month, maybe a fast food like that once or twice a month.
Right.
Naturally, I think we have come to this point where cooking your own food or having a salad or something like that is like, oh, I have to be on a diet to eat that. You should
Mhm.
make that a part of your everyday life. All food should be a part of your everyday life. But
Right.
it's the point where my personal belief is a certain point of people have dug themselves a hole so deep that it gets to a certain point they can afford to eat those kinds of foods now at this point.
Yeah.
That's what I personally believe. Now you can afford to. Now you have to eat food with less salt. Now you have to eat food with
Yes.
you can't eat red meat or something like that. You've dug yourself deep in a hole because once again, your health doesn't attack you the night that you eat your first whatever food you eat. It's over time. Just
Yes.
just as
Yes. Yes.
getting just as becoming your best self comes over time, becoming that your worst self also comes over time. It's about your choices. It's about
Yeah.
your choices. The choices that you make today you will begin to see them tomorrow and other days as you go over time. It's the
Mhm.
choices, because I can make a choice today on my health and I won't even see it probably until March 1st.
Hmm.
No matter how that is, that's just how it is. The I won't see the results of my choices until later. I
Okay.
won't see it just after I make the choice. That's how it is. That's how a lot of things work in this process. And I know that's also a reason why people say, "Oh yeah, I could keep doing this. I could keep doing this," because they don't feel nothing today. They don't feel nothing. They eat all the food. They eat anything they want at any point in time, and usually that's food high in sodium, high in that unsaturated those saturated fats and things like that. They're eating that all the time, every day, consistently, and you know that's what they're eating majority of the time. And then, the next day they wake up, I'm still good, and they keep doing that. You keep doing
Right.
that, but your body is internally doing things and that
Mm,
you aren't aware of. It's things that you cannot see. That's the same thing if you're doing things better. The
right.
results are things you cannot see when I would probably even say the first 3 months when you're on you start your journey, you probably won't see any noticeable differences. Somebody who probably hasn't seen you in a while might say you look different, but because haven't seen you in a while. But you
Right.
seeing yourself every day, you're not gonna see some like an inch or two off of your waist, or you're not gonna visually see that. That's why I tell people the number on the scale does not matter.
Interesting.
That's not what we need to pay attention to, because the body can have more skeletal muscle mass and less body fat, and you could be the same weight. We can That's called, when you lose body fat and gain muscle and stay around the same weight, that's body recomposition. So when a lot of people are sitting here saying, "Oh, I need to lose 20 pounds." Well, 20 pounds in what? They think 20 pounds is just 20 pounds of muscle. Now
Mhm.
your body's not protected. Now you don't have the necessary things to keep your bones strong, or you don't have the muscle to be able to move your body when you get to your older age. Those are the things that will help you move, is your muscles as you get older.
Right. Right.
And that's what we need to understand. But it's just like it's a lot that I know sometimes, but we need to like spoon feed it and like take our time as we go through this process and understand the main things is, do not worry about the number on the scale.
Right.
Try,
Right.
try your best. Try your best, like I said, to eat a well balanced. I don't even like to say the word diet, because I feel like diet is just for a short period of time, but just have a nutritional, lifestyle, a well balanced nutritional
Mhm.
lifestyle.
Mhm.
However that might look like for you,
Mhm.
stay there. You don't have to do no, "Oh, I'm a fast for 30 days and not eat it." If that's what works for you and you're able to do that for a long period of time, fine. But find out and be honest with yourself.
Right. Let me ask a question because I know we're getting ready to wind down. Some of us are emotional eaters. I'm the kind of person that emotionally, if something was bothering me, I don't eat. But then it's other people that, from an emotional perspective, they eat. And so they gain weight. I go the opposite direction. I start to lose weight. How does that affect the body? Because that takes the body so up and down.
Right. If you're doing that, if you're in that space consistently, that can affect you. Like you said, if you don't eat, and let's say you're in an emotional state where you're not eating on a consistent basis, this is throughout the week, or like you're doing this at least once every week, you know, over time, that can hinder your growth of your muscle growth over time, or somebody who stress eats over time, that
Right.
can make them
Right.
there. It can be working out, because once again, when you work out, you're putting stress upon the body. You're doing what you need to do. You're doing what you have to do in the gym. But when you sit down and that plate is in front of you, that's what matters the most in this process, is that plate that's in front of you. That plate that's in front of you is how balanced is it? Are you working out and then going and eating burger and fries? all depending on where you're at, but also
Yeah.
on depending on the content of that burger, you know, that
Right.
matters, you know.
Right.
So like I said, and just to keep it just to keep it simple, not even to make it that difficult about the contents of the burger. It's just like, like you sit down. I think everybody should sit down with the nutritionist at some point of time in their life and say,
Mm,
here's the things that I'm eating. I think they should invest in that. You
that's
know,
interesting.
at once
Yeah.
it's an investment in yourself, because
Yeah.
you can learn how to work out.
Right.
You do the things that you need to do, but like eating is hard for a lot of people, not knowing what to cook, that like when you're
Yes.
in the kitchen, you're by yourself. Sometimes, like a majority of the times, you're in the kitchen by yourself. So not knowing what to eat, when to
Yeah.
eat it, and things like that, or how your body works.
Right. Right. Right.
You have to learn
Yeah.
how you got to see how your body works.
Right.
And what I tell a lot of my clients is, you're not competing for nothing. You're not trying to win no competitions. Have fun with the process. Do something for 4 to 6 weeks, or at least 2 months. Do that, figure it out, see what it is, reassess,
Right.
and then keep going. It's a
Oh,
long process. Don't even think about where
right.
you're trying to end up.
Right.
Don't even think about that. Just do,
Just do it.
and just do it.
Yeah.
Take
Angela,
photos.
Angela chimed in, Joshua, and I think this is good for you to hear. Angela said, I'm a comfort food. I'm at comfort food. When my nerves are bad, thank you for your transparency, Angela. Ice cream, chips, fried chicken. And she said, pray for me. I think that, thank you for just being honest, because the truth is, I mean, it's like you laugh at it, but that's why I brought that up, because it's really true. Like, we can really set ourselves on this path of, I don't want to use the word destruction from sort of, I just want to talk about it from the perspective of harming our bodies. And that's why I'm so grateful for you coming on the show tonight, because it's bringing light into some things that we want to change. I think there's some of us that are on here. I really want to be more disciplined. I think I can speak for some of the ladies that are on tonight. We want to be more disciplined, Joshua. Like how you are, how my husband is when it comes to eating and working out and this and that. It's a part of who we are, and it's how we want to be. So I just want to thank you tonight. For the last 30 seconds, please say something to the viewing audience that can encourage them to keep going. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, I like this one. There's so much things to say. First and foremost, I want to appreciate you for having me and allowing me
Absolutely.
to speak to everyone here. I really do appreciate it. But something to leave you off with, and for everyone to just keep in your mind when things get tough, um, just tell yourself, it's as long as I keep going, it will not. Did we hear that?
You broke up a little bit. Say it again, Joshua.
I said, as long as I keep going, it will not always be like this.
Oh, that's good.
As long as I
That's
keep going,
yeah, yeah.
as
And
long as I
another,
keep going, it will not always be like this, because
you can go ahead, Joshua. I think we might be stuck. I just want to chime into what Joshua is saying to my viewing audience, because we're winding down. He used a key word tonight, and he said investment. We invest in so many things. We invest in our hair, our nails, whatever, or even for men, whatever they do. I want to say to those that are watching tonight, thank you for writing in. I want you to write in the chat what Joshua said tonight. Keep going. Invest in your life, invest in your health, and invest. But the key word tonight is 2 words. Ladies, we're going to what? We're going to keep going. Write it in the chat. Put it on your mirror. Put it in your car. Put it everywhere you could think of. We're going to keep going, because we're going to work out and we're going to do better. Thank you so much, sir, for being on Real Talk with Jean Price. It was a real conversation to real people about doing something real for a better life. Thank you all. We'll see you next week on Real Talk. Have a good night.
So, as a fitness professional, one of the most common things I hear is, I don't have time. So let me tell you guys something about time. Every single one of you has 168 hours in a week, and I'm only asking for 2.5 hours out of your week. And for what? To live a better life, a healthier life, or even a longer life. These are all benefits that come with exercise. Fitness is a lifestyle. This is not a quick fix. This is something you have to incorporate into your daily regimen, just like brushing your teeth or taking a shower.